everyone. Hello. Let me know if you can see me and hear me. Those are good goals for us. I'm going to pull up the live stream on my computer so I can read chat. It's very hard for me to see chat on my phone. It's too small. I can do it, but I'm like leaning forward looking weird. Wrong. Can you see me? There's Misty. I've got other people too. Caitlin, Heather Shepherd, Tater. Cool. Joy. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So let's find the stream. View your channel. Okay. So, a week ago, we did our seasonal Q&A. It was our fall Q&A. And with each Q&A, I like to do a giveaway at the end. And this time, we're giving away some soap. And I need to mute myself so I can hear myself think. Okay, so I recently made an order with Blue Cactus Soaps. I make one probably about every 2 months whenever she's got new soaps out. And she had given me this bonus soap in the package. And it says, it's backwards for you guys, so I apologize. But it says, share with a friend. And so I wanted to give this away to one of you guys. Now, in order to enter, you had to have told me your favorite homesteading YouTube channel other than us on our Q&A video. And so what I'm going to do is put the link for that video in a random comment generator thing here on the internet. It's going to pick one randomly. And as long as the comment talks about homesteading YouTube channel, that's a winner. So if it doesn't, then I'll have to redo it, but that hasn't happened very much. Do you think we're all dirty? I don't know, Tater. What did I say? Oh, because I'm giving away soap? I mean, yes. Y'all gotta bathe at least once a year. At least. And that one smells good. It's her peppermint bar. It's a little travel size. Her soaps are much bigger than this. I forget the ounceage, but that's a smaller size, which is nice for hand washing. Her big ones, I have to cut them in half to use them for hand washing. So let me just pull this up, the giveaway thingy, so that in the replay, we're not wasting people's time, but then I can hang out for a little while and chat with you guys. Pickawinner.co is what we use, a random comment picker. So I'm going to flip you around so that we can see and figure out who our winner is. Ta-da! Here's the random comment picker. So I've got the video loaded already. I'm going to put the link in here and fetch all the comments. We're not going to include replies because that's just me talking to you guys. Loading the comments. 143 comments. So let's pick a winner. Oh, see, this is Lori talking about her Sage and Stone mug that came yesterday. We've got to pick another winner because this one doesn't talk about a channel. Okay, there we go. Kelly Whited, Z70. Little Mountain Ranch is my favorite. That channel was mentioned a whole lot. There was definitely a lot of themes going on. And Little Mountain Ranch was probably the most talked about channel. And you know, that's not one that I've watched a whole lot. Apparently she grows in Canada in like zone 3 and does a lot of bulk canning and things. So Kelly Whited C70 is our winner. Now I will go on to that video and comment underneath that. Now the only thing that I need you to do is send me an email with your address, and that is it. Be wary of scammers because they are out there and they will try to get any kind of information from you, and I don't want you guys to get scammed. So go to SageAndStoneHomestead@gmail.com and email me your shipping address. That's all I need. That is all I need. So are you in the house? Sometimes the winner's here, and that's always fun. Kelly Whited. Congratulations. Got my tea. This is I think they pronounce it rooibos. R-O-O-I. Might say on here. Nope. It doesn't. It says reishi, but it's rooibos with reishi. So, Sunset is, I know, poor kid. It wasn't the comment that said what your second favorite YouTube channel is. Sometimes it's the 2 comments that get you. Next time, though. You're playing kidding season bingo, so you'll be good. You'll get a prize too, just not the soap. My goodness, how are your elbows feeling? Did you feel that the chiropractor helps them? Yes. So I went to the chiropractor today. I get elbow pain from using my hands a lot, and a lot of the times it's when I'm gripping something and having to lift it. And milking doesn't help either, but I noticed that I get pretty serious pain when I'm trying to do something like with heavy lifting. That's when it really sets it off, or if I'm doing a lot of repetitive motion like milking, but with like crochet as well. So when I went in there today, I said, it's hurting in my elbow, and he said, it seems like the issue is actually in your wrist. So he did some wrist adjustments, and it doesnn't hurt most of the time. That's just really the only complaint that I have, is that sometimes my elbows hurt. So they're doing well. And it does, it comes down into here. It's like way back here is where I'll get it. And, you know, if you kind of move your wrist, you can kind of feel where it's coming from. So yeah, so we have, obviously, if you've seen the video from today, Margie has kidded. I was literally just down in the barn playing with the babies. They are so darn cute. My kids have named them Hunger Games names. So they are President Snow and Kato. President Snow is the white one, and Kato is the chamois. And they're sweet. They're sweet babies. I haven't let them out of the kidding stall yet. This is their second day on this planet. And it rained all day. Most of the day, I guess, about half the day. And they'll come out tomorrow. And I have new little GPS collars for them. And they'll be let out. And it's always kind of nerve-wracking because they're like this big. And it's a big pasture. Kind of scary. So, yeah, some kind of tennis elbow, Valerie. Some kind of tennis elbow. Yeah, Joy says she's got tendonitis in my elbow, and that's new this year. Sorry. Repetitive motion does it to me. First year on our place, I get horrible tennis elbow. Comfrey ointment helped a lot. Interesting. I tried to plant, it was a Russian comfrey down at the pond, and I think the goats ate it, like before it could really establish. So it didn't get a chance to really come back or anything because it didn't get established. So I've got to figure out a place to put it, or it's not going to completely overtake. And where it can still be beneficial in drawing up the minerals and things from the ground. Hi, Trisha. We did brush hog the pasture, Heather. You're right. And that is, like, the babies is 80% of the reason why. I guess maybe it's probably 50-50. I do want my winter grasses to grow and not be so dependent on hay. We are absolutely dependent on hay, but they really cuts down on the hay bill when they can graze out there. But yeah, it's shorter, but they are this tall. I don't know, from here to here. They're like 9 inches tall. They're so dang cute. Homestead, I bought comfrey root from eBay and established well, even with a chicken attack. Very nice. If you could link me, it's not going to let you post it here, but maybe in Discord or on my email, exactly what you bought. I'd like to buy the same thing, if it is that hardy. I'm surprised you are CST. I'm in South Texas. I can't remember how far the line is, but we are in Western Kentucky. So, Southwestern Kentucky. So yeah, but yeah, I was down in the barn checking everyone else. So we still have Stormy, we still have Winnie, we still have Foxy, and then we have Tempest, who need to kid. And I don't have due dates for anybody, because I never saw anybody breed, which is crazy to me. I feel like I watch these girls like hawks, but apparently not. Now, I will say sometimes their heats, their like standing heats can be really a short window, and it could happen in the middle of the night. But it looks like either Winnie or Stormy is going to be next. I did have Stormy in a stall last night so I could watch her, but no dice. I thought she was going into labor. I really thought I saw contractions. But that particular line, all my gold girls, my gold goats, come from a goat named Rory that I bought from Living Traditions Homestead. I have since sold Rory. But Rory, she would like lose her ligaments a week before kidding every time, and sometimes the ligaments would come back and sometimes they'd like go away again, and it was this huge yo-yo and all this, I don't know, false labor all the time with her. And Seems like maybe her daughters, at least some of them, do that as well. It's kind of nerve-wracking, but that's okay. Oh, did I miss the comment? Heather usually posts Tuesday and Friday unless there's a kidding, and the posting might be a little different. Yeah. So far, there hasn't been rapid fire kiddings, which I actually appreciate, knock on wood, because there are still 4 left to go. We could have 3 in one day, for all I know. But it's been nice to get a little bit of a break. That night that I put Margie in the stall, it was 11 p.m. and I put a live stream on for the members to watch over her. And I really thought she'd kid overnight, but she didn't. She was a little bit restless for a while, and then she settled for a while, but I was up every like 30 minutes. So I slept like trash. And I think I went to bed at 7 the next day, like 7 p.m., which is really, really early for me. So yes, you'll see the little hoof prints on some of the commenters' names, and that is a sign that they are a member to the channel. The different colors signify how long they've been members to the channel, and the membership does have a few perks, like live streams during the goat births, and early access to videos, and access to our Discord server. So it's pretty fun. I can give away 10 memberships during a live stream, so I can go ahead and dish those out now if you guys want. I hear on other channels that the boy goats or bucks smell horrible. You're one that doesn't complain much about their smell. Do you breed not to have a strong odor? No, I don't actually mind the smell. I can smell it, and I don't exactly want to smell it all the time, but I don't have my boys super close to the house most of the time, and I don't think it's the most offensive thing. I don't really want to be loving all over them during rut season, because it does stick. It's hard to wash off, and you, like I said, you don't want it all the time, but it's not the absolute worst smell in the world. I'm not saying it's great, but it's not the worst. Baby Furrow was so cute, and his son looks just like him, except for his ears are a little bit longer. Yeah, Brendan missed seeing the lives during the birthing. It is a fun time, but I do make a video for the public, as you saw with Margie. Let me go ahead and boop some of these memberships and get those dished out. If I can remember how. Hang on. Membership gifting. You have 10 membership gifts to send. Send 5. So, here are the gifted memberships. YouTube does it randomly. So here they come. There they go. Deborah, Adric, Gretchen, Slots with Christy, and Ruth Spencer are the first 5. And then I can give away 5 more. Oh yes, that old veterinary manual brought up on the server says you can descent goats when this budding. The scent glands are behind the horn buds. It's very interesting. That is very interesting to me. I've never done that. Someone had told me about that recently as well. I have got the book right next to me. But they also still pee on themselves. So there is that as well. There's like the buck musk, but then they make their own cologne that you can't disbud that away. So there is that. Let me give the other 5 away. Send 5. So if you're just now joining, our winner for the giveaway was Kelly Whited-C70. And if that is you, send me an email with your address. Yay! We've got Jennifer back. Some people get repeat memberships that they were prior members, and they get it all over again. So we've got, and then Alley Cat, Canadian Witch, Brittany Groves, and Kimberly Posley. Congratulations. I know we all love having Jen back. Jen keeps getting gifted memberships, which I love. So Jen, you get to be there for the kiddings with us. The mini farming groomer, our buck got reserve champion at the buck show this past weekend in 1 ring. Congratulations. That has to feel good. That's a really fun. The MDGA virtual show, fall show, just ended their entries, and I was thinking about putting in Frenzy and Missy, but I decided not to. It was too much. There is kidding bingo going on right now. It's a fun time. We're learning together, but it's been fun, and it'll be exciting to add to it whenever we have another kidding, which could be tomorrow. I'm kind of hoping they hold off a little bit, because I would like to render some tallow tomorrow. Is it raining or are you canning? I have a turtle over there. And a lot of the times when I make a video, I'll unplug his thing. Or sometimes I forget, but usually when I do a live, I'll unplug it too, but I forgot. So you'll hear that. Yes, I've never actually put the tallow, the goat fat that I'm doing, I've never actually put it in the freezer first and then rendered it. I usually just render it right after butchering. And so it's thawing out in the fridge right now, and I'm gonna chop it up and put it in the crock pot in the morning. The mini farm and groomer says, it was also our first time doing a buck collection, so now we have him on ice. Very cool. Oh, that's so awesome. Is the turtle new? No, he was found in 2020 by my children, and he's been there ever since. He needs a little bit bigger of a tank. Tanks are expensive. Everything went up in 2020. They didn't used to be that expensive. I think it's a red ear slider. Yeah. He was, I don't know, our pond is not really close to our house, and he was up by one of our sheds. He was like this big. Now he's like this. So, his name is Lance. Lance the turtle. Ah, the white fam. Welcome. Happy to see you here. My husband and I have decided to get goats once I heal up from my surgery, of course. Heal well. I'm glad to see you here. And goats are such a massive blessing. I love them. I do mine dry on the stove from hogs. Oh, okay. I've heard of the dry render, the lard. Berkshire and Duroc crosses, doctoring a few sick baby piglets this week. Oh, I'm sorry. Poor thing's got greasy pig, aka staph. Interesting. See, we never got the chance to have piglets here. I don't know if adults can get staph as well. I imagine they can. Because we've seen staph on the goats before. And that, I call it the cow spray, but it's chlorhexidine spray. It's not back out. I screw it up every time. That's why I call it cow spray. Fight back is what it's called. A BAC, fight back. And that's what we spray on staph. And that so far has taken care of it. Oh, Tabitha, you don't have to do that. We'll get one for him. It has to fit up there because our house is small, but he could definitely stand for a bigger one up there. We'll get him one. He needs a bigger one. Tanya, I love your goat videos, but I'm far more interested in rabbits. I just started with my rabbitry this summer, and I'm loving it so far. So we are going to get back into breeding our rabbits. We are having a very unseasonably warm fall, and I do not like to breed when it's hot. It was upper 80s this past week, and even then, it's hard for our bucks to maintain their fertility. I had bred Sausage, one of my pretty bunnies. It was about a month and a half ago now, and she lifted and everything was successful, but she didn't take, and I think it was because I didn't give my bucks enough recovery time from the heat. It's very hot here, and we need to let it be a little bit cooler, but we'll get back into bunny content for sure. Did YouTube hold a funny comment? I didn't see it. What brand is the electric canner? I have a Nesco. It's also called the Carey, C-A-R-E-Y. It's the same thing. You can find that on Amazon. But shop around for prices. They go up and down. I think I got mine from like Burlington or something. It was like $100, but you can find deals on them. And I really like it. Rose Red Homestead did a video where she tested out. I think there's a Ball electric canner. It's the one that I have, the Nesco, and then maybe it's, who else has one? Does Presto have one? I think that's who it is. And she tested them all out, so you can kind of see which one you like better. And I chose the Nesco. Yeah. Oh, your birthday's tomorrow. Happy birthday, Brenda. Yeah, tell hubby you want that. It's awesome. I really like my stovetop canner, and I love to use my electric canner for overflow. Because my stovetop canner only fits 7 quarts, and if I've got 10, it's kind of like, ugh. I don't want to have to wait for it to get done and then refill it and whatever. So it's really nice to be able to do 2 at once like that. All-American for the win. I got my All-American last year. It was about a year ago. It was for my birthday. I bought that, and I've loved it. But it was a little bit different than my Presto. It's obviously heftier, but it also makes a louder noise when it's like jiggling, so it was kind of scary. But I got used to it. The electric canners are great for small batches. It's one of my favorite ways to use it. What's like, yeah, small batches, like when I have my green beans that I'm picking, sometimes it's slow in the beginning and I can can them up without having to try to pack them in the fridge, and then they kind of wilt and whatever. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Jay. Hello, hello. Breeding next month. Can't wait. Oh, I'm excited for you guys. Very excited for you. Breeding season is done here. It was the day that Margie kidded. Elpis went into heat, and Red was in heat the day before. So those were the two that I was waiting on. So Red is bred to Ruckus, Elpis is bred to Flip. Flip is going in the freezer. Flip has been banded as of today. And if the does that he bred, which is Melee and Elpis, happen to not take, I've got other bucks. So he was just an experiment, a fun thing that we did this year, and we could do something fun like that every year. He's from my friend Megan's farm, GWP Homestead. They do have a YouTube channel. They haven't posted in a little while. It's been busy for them. But she's going to be breeding goats and raising goats every year, and if she has a hard time selling her bucks, they go in our freezer. So we'll get chances like that very frequently, and that's pretty fun to do little fun things. You can band a larger buck. It's called the California Bander, and it's this whole little contraption with a band. It's not a ring. It's like surgical tubing with a clip on the end. And you hook it around and tighten it, and it's really, really slick. So you don't have to like stretch a band real wide to go around it. Just you stretch it with your hand and click it in. It's really nice. So, oh yes, I did mention about the lie that the shepherdess did a lie as a dewormer test with her goats, and she took fecals to the vet, and I wanted to share that here. I shared it on our community tab and in Discord. The shepherdess. I'm still doing my test as well, but I want to time it to where we're going to be butchering our meat goats so we can look inside of them as well. Oh yay, thank you, Heather McCarthy. Giving out memberships. That's always fun. So there, if you can click that, that is the shepherdess video. It says testing lie as a dewormer for our livestock with vet results. So really good watch. I liked it. I haven't watched your yogurt success video, or I have watched your yogurt success video so many times, but I don't understand how you get it to be thick. Can you post a recipe? It's more of a method, and the method was shown in the video. So what I do is I culture the milk, and you don't even, that part's pretty optional. It's just for a good flavor, but I use a mesophilic culture, which is a culture that will grow at a lower temperature. So usually as soon as I'm done milking, I'll strain the milk and then add the culture. I don't even have to heat the milk up. And then I add 1 drop of vegetable rennet to a little small amount of water and add that to the gallon of milk. And that thickens it up great. Now I do have to strain it. So I've got some right now. Let me go grab it. I'll show you what it looks like right now, because I need to strain it. Y'all see my bubble wrap? I'm getting ready to to send some stuff out. Look, see? It's in here. We've got whey on top, and then it's essentially Chev down here. It's really soft at this point, but I strain it through butter muslin, and you can strain it to however thick or thin you want. And if you keep the whey, if you accidentally strain it too much and you want to thin it out a little bit, you can always add whey back. It's really nice. And then you can add honey. I've done it with sugar when I ran out of honey, and that was good. So yeah, that's how the yogurt works. You might have to adjust things. So when I ran out of that original bottle of vegetable rennet, it takes a long time when you're only doing a drop at a time to run out of rennet. But when I ran out and I had to order a new one, it's got like a tapered top to it, like an old school ketchup bottle. It's tapered, and if you don't cut it at the same depth on the nose there, it adjusts the size of your drop. So you're going to have to play around and figure out what works for you and your milk and all that. Oh, yay, we got Brenda back. Yay, Brenda. Love to have you back. October is a great month to be on the membership. It really is, because there's a lot going on in the kidding barn and stuff. So I make Chev. I bought the vegetable rennet. Thank you. You essentially make Chev, and then you just don't strain it as much. Then you whip it up. I've got a really nice immersion blender that makes it a really nice consistency. We use Chev for everything. I use Chev in my ice cream base, and that comes out really good. And it's funny because everything does taste different. Like our Chev cheese that we make doesn't necessarily taste like our ice cream, and our ice cream doesn't necessarily taste like Chev, and our yogurt doesn't necessarily taste like our ice cream. It's really interesting how it works out depending on what's put in it. But yeah, I'm gonna go put this back in the kitchen. If I have missed a comment or a question, you can put on repeat so that I can see it. Because I do sometimes miss them, and I want to not miss them. Joy says, we replace the water in our homemade bread with whey from our yogurt. That's what I do too. When I have a ton of milk in springtime, I'll put milk in the bread recipe and feed the whey back out to the animals. But yeah. The whey is excellent in bread. It helps keep it like springy. It's got lots of protein in it. Lisa says, I made my first batch of Chev. It's addicting. So good. I agree. It freezes really well. Sometimes when you pull it out of the freezer, it's a little bit drier than when it went in. And if you just add a touch of milk and stir it up, it comes right back. And it's amazing. Love it. This is my first time here, says Jennifer. Can you please post what you use in your recipes and where you purchased it? You mean the yogurt recipe? What I buy is cottage cheese culture, and I can buy it locally. But you can use any kind of mesophilic culture, and those are big words that sound really confusing. But if you go on to newenglandcheesemaking.com, there's a bunch of information on there, and they've got real basic mesophilic cultures. That's where I get my vegetable rennet, and you can skim on there and get what you need from there, and it's good. Anybody use whey when they make sourdough? Yeah, that's what I make, Trisha. And it doesn't affect the fermentation. It's really good. What is the best goat meat, says Talitha. I have heard that dairy goat meat is better than meat goat meat. Now, it might just depend on your preference, on your palate, because a lot of cultures prefer like intact goats. They want it to taste super strong and super goaty, but that's not everyone's preference. I like dairy goat meat. That is what we've had most of the time. I don't actually know that I've had meat goat meat ever. I've only had dairy goat meat, and I really enjoy it. It's kind of like, I don't know, we've said that it's kind of like a cross between sheep and venison, but it's got its very own distinct flavor that's almost beefy as well. It's very interesting, and one of the things that I like most about it is the fat is very buttery and lovely. So jealous you're having babies already. How are Margie and her Buckleys doing? So good. I could see if I can pull them up. I was just playing with them right before the live stream. I was checking on my pregnant mamas, my heavily pregnant mamas. Here we go. I'll show you them and then we'll flip. But here's everybody else. They're doing good. This Stormy's up here. We're watching her. I've got a collar on her because I was having to put her away and she didn't want to go in the kidding stall. So I stole Tizzy's collar. But if we turn around, Margie's still over here. I'm going to move her out tomorrow. I just didn't want her out in the rain today. They are behind the door. Down here. So you can't see them. I'm sorry. They're behind the door. That's where they've been laying. But, oops, too far. This is what the goat barn looks like right now. And I always get questions about my camera. It's a Reolink camera. And it's a Wi-Fi camera. So we have a Wi-Fi signal booster in the barn. And then we've got Wi-Fi at the house. And it connects and I can see everybody. And pay attention. So here's Winnie. And here's Foxy. And there's Tempe and Stormy. So those are our pregos. Looking good. Looking good, doing good. And I can pull up the camera even when I'm not home. And I like that about it a lot. If I'm at the chiropractor and want to know what's going on, I can see. And I can see it from my bed. When we had a baby monitor, the signal wouldn't reach from the barn to my bedroom. I had to like get up and go to the kitchen window to see what was going on with the baby goats. Why didn't Margie push age, you think? It's either that or exhaustion or a mineral thing. It's all kind of a guess. So I'm going to do it again, mess around with some minerals, and probably breed her again. She has really, really recovered well. She recovered like nothing. The reason that I retired Christine's last kidding did well. Like, she did great with her last kidding. She recovered horrifically. She was horrible. She acted like she had the worst, most painful kidding. She wouldn't lay down. She wouldn't stop talking. She seemed really, really anxious. It kind of looked like she was starting to try to have milk fever. I never filmed any of it because I didn't know what the heck was going on. But I was talking to my mentor, and she said, literally, Heather, I couldn't get Christine to eat at all, anything. And she said, give her milk and cookies. So I brought her a pail of warm milk and animal crackers, and Christine ate. And not long after that, she laid down and she finally calmed down. But I don't know what was wrong. But I decided to retire her after that. Did you see, Janice? It's a Reolink camera. Reolink. Molly Goat is almost in the goat pile. What early? She sometimes will hang out with them. Today, they were kicking her out of the barn again. I think it was Christine. And I think it's only because I have half of it blocked off for Margie. I guess it's not half. It's probably a third of it that Margie is in. But when it's raining and they're cramped, they're irritated. And so she was getting booted out into the rain. I noticed that today. And it was kind of sad. But it didn't rain all day, and it wasn't the pouring down rain. But yeah, she's still at the bottom of the totem pole, unfortunately. She'll probably stay there. That'll be her spot. But she's in the barn. Silly question, but wanting to know what the yellow and red balls hanging in your greenhouse. Also, what happens when you run out of beans for paying your toll? Oh man, the beans are dead. They're gone. And Farrell likes tomatoes, and he likes Malabar spinach, and he likes cucamelons a lot. And so far I still have those. And so he's eating those, but the balls in the greenhouse are supposed to be a bird scare deterrent. They're yellow, and they've got these big round, like red and black. They look like eyeballs, and they kind of move, and they're supposed to scare birds out of there. And I don't really have a problem with birds unless it's the beginning of the year. Early spring, birds will eat my seedlings like crazy, and I have big problems with that. And the bird scare stuff, none of it worked this year. And it was sad. Last year, I felt like the balls worked really well, but I probably have to move them around. I just never did. They're in the same spot. So I would like to check out the Mini Farming Groomer channel as well, because I want to see the champion goat or reserve champion. See if I can. The Mini Farming Groomer. I'm going to look it up. The Mini. Found you. Yep. So if you guys like all things goats, I'm going to link this. Here's another channel for you. The Mini Farming Groomer. One of our own. I have a new buckling with my does. They're so mean to him. Will he be better with my bucks? Would he be better with my bucks? It depends on, is it a little boy? Are they beating him up because he's a baby? That some goats, it takes them a long time to integrate into the herd. And what you might have to do is make a safe spot for him, like almost like a kidding stall where he can smell them and interact with them and not be lonely, but also be safe. At this time of year, big bucks might be meaner to him because because it's rut season. And Farrell's a big boy. If he had horns, he could easily kill a little baby, and he probably would, just because he's not a mean boy, but it's rut season. I would probably leave him with the girls because they're going to be nicer at this time of year. Farrell cracks me up. Our goats don't eat anything. Most of my goats don't either. It took me forever to get them to eat pumpkin, and some of the girls don't. The boys do better with snacks, but he'll try anything. It's not necessarily good. A lot of times bottle babies will do that. They'll eat whatever you give them because you were the source of food forever. And Farrell was a bottle baby. I got him, he's like 10 days old. He's so cute. Heather's always giving shout outs. Yep, because it's a community. It's not competition. Some channels I've seen, I watch a lot of true crime, and I've noticed that a lot of them, there's like rules for commenting on some channels. And a lot of them say something like, don't peddle other channels or don't shout out other channels in their comment section. And I was like, stop. And I think it's because in certain spaces, there's only like one news story. And so there's competition to be the one, like, I guess, channel that people go to for their news or whatever, or for updates or whatnot. With homesteading, it's really different because everybody's farm is totally different. Even if you have the same animals and you live just up the street, like my friend at GWP Homestead, they actually have rocks on their land, and like, it's incredible. And so things are way different over there, even though they're right here. And so it's just a different experience to watch. There isn't competition. It just is what it is. Charles, I remember when I was a kid stealing my parents' cigarettes and feeding them to the goats because they loved them. I have heard tobacco is a good dewormer. I don't know if I'd feed them cigarettes. And it probably should be cured, which obviously a cigarette would be, but oh man. I think there was someone in one of my dewormer videos had mentioned that as well. Jacob's Letter Farm says, I love true crime too. Yeah, I've had to take a break from it recently, and I've been watching people do crafts. So I've been watching like Evan and Caitlin and stuff to like decompress at the end of the day. Have you guys seen Evan and Caitlin? They've got a billion channels, but they do a lot of like resin crafts, and recently I watched them make soap and things, and that's been fun to watch them. I like Emmy Made too. I watch Emmy all the time. Jennifer, let's summon dinner. The goats I used to have always jailbroken ran to the tobacco fields. Oh my goodness. So funny. Thank you, Amanda. Amanda says, I have learned so much from you on your channel. We are newer homesteaders trying to figure it all out. Thank you. I appreciate your humble, fun, authentic personality. Thank you. That's the only way I know how to be. Otherwise, it's too much work. Yes, I would love to follow anyone that has a homestead channel. I am all for community. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. And sometimes, like, I follow a lot of homesteaders, but I just don't see them. I'm not there. It's not suggested to me. Even in my subscriptions tab, it seems to be like I don't see everybody, and I don't understand how it works, but try to get the smaller channels out there because there's good stuff. Sarah, we have thought about growing our own tobacco too. There's a couple of things you have to worry about. Levi, what is it called? When the workers with the tobacco go to the hospital. They literally, just from going through, because they pluck off, what did you pluck off the flowers?
I'm not sure really.
There's, like, they need a little bit of tending, and they need to be hand gathered, the tobacco plants too. And the workers can go, just from contact with the plants, can get tobacco poisoning. So, and that might be certain kinds. I don't know if it's air cure or the smoke cure kinds, but yeah, it made me a little bit nervous with our kids and the way they like to run all over the farm. Obviously we could, like, they're good. We could tell them don't go in the tobacco, but still, one of these days we may. We're pretty close to each other too. The shortest distance from me to Clarksville, Tennessee is 2.5 hours. How close are you from there? 30 minutes. I'm 30 minutes from Clarksville. Really close. We live right behind Fort Campbell. I almost said Fort Carson. Not anymore. We lived on Fort Carson. That was in Colorado. Most of the time, Janice says I don't have a lot of extra screen time to watch all the ones I follow. A lot of times I'll put it in my ear while I do stuff. But there's no way, yeah. I have a lot of subscriptions. There's no way I could keep up with all of them, and I don't. Oop. My Nigerian dwarf buck Noah is acting weird. He won't let me pass or leave the pen. He makes a horrible groaning. Is it normal rup buck behavior? Yes, it is. We love you and I've started goats because of you. Yeah, Feral, he's a butt. So I feed them, right? All the boys. I put Feral back in the boy pen. I feed them all, and then I go in there to turn on the water. And he does that to me when I go to leave. He's right on the end of all the boys eating, which is right where the door opens, and he does that to me. He's a butt. And they will stop. Usually around January. December, January, they calm down. Yeah. They can be butts. Yay. Good night, Appalachian Farmstead. It's a good time. I hope that the other kittings go well, too. Margie did pretty good. Dang, y'all. Look at Stormy. I'm going to zoom in on her. So this is Stormy. Look at her udder. Maybe I should put her in the stall just because it's bigger than this morning. Oh boy. And I was watching Winnie too. She's down here. That's Winnie right there. She looks pretty good, but oh boy. Look at that. Now Stormy could be having 3 or 4. She wasn't necessarily popped. I was literally just down there an hour ago. And I felt it. And there's give. I will say, though, Margie was in labor and her udder had give, too. So, Stormy's very round. She's starting to get that height, like, in the back, where they fill a lot on the bottom. And then once they go into labor, it sort of fills up at the top. Stormy's going to have 4, says Janice. There was definitely 3 on ultrasound. But potentially 4. I don't know. Looking at her, it's hard to say. Stormy has a lot of depth, and so she likes to carry them low. So she's wide, but she's also very deep. And these are mooch babies, and I have had mooch babies, but they've not been the Nigees. They've been mini Lamantas, all of them. So these are Mooch's first Nigees on my farm. Stormy looks like the baby's dropped. Yeah, I know. She's making me probably have to go down there and put her up. She's not going to like it. She did not like being in the stall last night, but it's probably for the best. Some of your goats have the best udders. I love that. Thank you. They're not the best, but they're not half bad for me not really having a lot of intention with my breedings at first. Now I have more intention with what I'm putting together. So, but previously I just needed them to not be related, and that's all I cared about. Thanks, Misty. Missy's giving out the gifted memberships. There's like 40 new members tonight. That's awesome. Look at them all, and it's all random. Katie, Calm with Claire, Freedom, It's Me, Morgan Wild. There it goes. Very cool. Thank you, Misty. Trying to outdo Tater. Tater, did you give some too? Thank you. When do I pick my loofah? There's so many out there. So it really depends. I like to pick them when they're still green, but mature enough where the sponge on the inside is still thick. And that's something that you might have to pop some open a little bit early to understand where that's at, but it's a very leathery feel to the outside of the loofah, really dark green. They can even be starting to turn yellow. And at that point, they'll peel really easily green. You don't have to dry them out, and they wash out really easily green, and they stay white. When you let them age to brown, I don't feel like they peel easy at all. They like the really sharp, I don't know, it like dries out, the outside dries out, and it gets sharp and goes underneath your fingernails, and it just flakes, and it's not fun. And they also kind of need some kind of whitening, whether you put lemon juice and put them in the sun. Some people do like a bleach solution to whiten them up, but you don't have to do that when you process them green. So, more gifted memberships. Thank you guys. That's fun. This is such a good time. such a good time to be a member because we're just getting into kidding season. There's 4 more to go. And then we'll do kidding live streams too in February. But yeah, Elpis is the last one bred, and I think it's March. What do we say, guys? March 3rd? Elpis's due date? Should be the last one. Yep. Gimpy Girl. Wicked Awesome Gardening. Some of these I do recognize. Yes, yes. Very good. That's always fun. Tater wins. You guys are funny. See, the current members love the membership. It's fun. I really enjoy our membership. So when we're done here, I'll go ahead and post the Discord link so that you guys who are interested can join our Discord server. It's a members only Discord server, but it's fun. It's like a chat room with all things homesteading. And you can post questions and post pictures and all the things. And it's not just me putting like something on the community tab or whatever. It's everybody kind of chatting back and forth. Like today I was gone and there was a bunch of questions about baby bunnies, and people who knew something about baby bunnies were handling those questions really well, and that was great. It's community, something I really like. And so I will put that in the membership tab when we're all done with our live stream. So glad to be here. I'm glad you are glad to be here, Rachel. It's a fun time. It's a fun time. Heather pasted all the names to you in Discord. Thank you. Dang, did you write them down? Misty's on top of it. I need to redo my credits at the end of my videos. It's old. The last time I updated it was like September 1st, but now there'll be many more on there. So it was probably good that I haven't done that yet. Janice says, oh, Janice got one. Janice says, fun. I've never been in a homestead related Discord. I should check it out. Yeah, and once you're a member on the Discord, I don't kick you off. So if you let your membership lapse, doesn't matter. The Discord is for members and prior members. Cassie says, might be a dumb question. Do memberships only go to non-members? They do. Or they could go to a prior member that doesn't have an active membership, which has happened before. Like Sparkle Flirt, Brenda's here, but I think Brenda, you might have re-upped herself, but we have Let's Summon Dinner. She's been on the membership before, had to stop, and she keeps getting gifted memberships, and so that's really fun. Misty, the OG admin assistant. Yes, priceless. Yes, very fun. So do you guys have any more questions? Yeah. Jennifer says, because I comment a lot. YouTube does the membership gifting randomly, but they say they do it based on your engagement and what is a membership. So the memberships that you're seeing being given out, it's like a bonus boost part of the channel. We have a lot of free content that we post all the time. And this is just in addition to that. So the members get the video, like our regular videos, a day early. It's not exactly 24 hours early, but it's one sleep before it goes live. Sometimes it's a little later in the day because I'm distractible. There are weekly live streams that we do just like this for the members. A lot of times we'll go out to the barn and go into the greenhouse and things. We'll do live streams for the births of the goats. And what else do we do? Our Discord, there's members only videos, which I haven't done a lot of those this year, but a few perks. If you click the join button, you can see all the different perks too. You don't have to like commit, but you can see them there before you do anything. I'm getting goats in a few months. Any tips? Oof. There could be many tips depending on how prepared you are for them. They're not a difficult animal, in my opinion. Not as difficult as the internet kind of makes them seem, but you do want to be prepared because if and when they go down fast because they're a prey animal and they tend to hide sickness very, very well. So you kind of have to know what to look for. I would advise you to just watch all the goat content you can from a bunch of different people, but especially from a creator that lives in your area. So if you live in the desert, you want to watch a creator that has goats in the desert. If you live in a swamp, you want to watch a creator that has goats in the swamp so that you know how they manage them best. And that will help you figure out how to manage your goats best. I have one random question about pig butchering. Have you ever butchered your own? We have not. And the only reason we haven't is usually this time of year is really busy for us. We could do them in October, in like the beginning. But at the end of October, we have our goat butchering, and then deer season opens up. And then usually not long after that, we've got rabbits to do, and it just goes bam, bam, bam. And we haven't gotten into curing our own meats, and we do really like the cured bacon. And so we just bring our pigs up to the butcher and he does it for us. And it's usually a pretty good price. It goes by the hanging weight. I don't have the price on Shake and Bake, but I took Shake and Bake to the butcher on Monday. So they've been there for a day and they're probably all worked up now. He said, that I could pick up the uncured meats on Friday. And so that was really fast. And we'll get our bacon and things back in a few weeks. Schmertens, should I get goats in milk or as kids? I would get a goat in milk. That's what I would do. Babies are harder because they can deal with a lot more, and a lot more can go wrong a lot faster with the babies. And if my first started with goats in milk, and that's what I would suggest, because it's really nice to get that reward right away instead of having to wait so long for it and to have all these different milestones and things to go through, like learning about breeding and learning about kidding and all that in order to get the milk. To have the milk right away is really, really nice. Did you have any issues getting Shake and Bake onto the trailer? No, it was perfect. It was exactly what I hoped for. They got so used to just going up there. I had trained them to go up and trained Chloe to stay down. And it happened to work out the first day that Chloe realized that I would come back down and give her food. And so Chloe didn't go up onto the trailer. Shake and Bake did, but Chloe stayed down. And so I would feed Chloe, and then they ate separately. And I would lift the back of the trailer up so that they weren't nervous about that moving on the day of, and so it didn't bother them at all. They loaded right up. I got a video of it. So Friday, you all will see that. Another silly question. What is cured and uncured? So oftentimes bacon and things like ham, like the ham that you get at the store, like sandwich meat ham that you can just eat out of the package, that's been cured. So you can there's a couple different ways to cure your own meats. A lot of the times people will use things like salt. You can do a salt cure on things. There's a few different ways. There's like chemical cures, sodium nitrite, like there's things that I'm not super proficient on, but it's a way to preserve meat, and it makes it so it's essentially like frozen in time, as far as I understand. I don't know offhand if things like ham and bacon are cooked first before they're cured. I don't think so, but I know that once the ham is cured, you can eat it, but I believe it's smoked first. And see, that's the thing, we don't know how to do it, so I haven't done it, but it's a preservation method. Tater says it's smoke cured. Sugar cure. Yeah. Does Chloe miss Shake and Bake? No, Chloe hated Shake and Bake. Chloe and Shake and Bake they were never like a family, ever. They always fought. Shake and Bake would be mean and keep Chloe out of the house. They would like block the door so poor Chloe couldn't get in. It was awful. I felt so bad for Chloe every day. And this morning I went to go give her food. This is her first like morning alone. And I was like, hey, Chloe. And she's like, oink, oink, oink. She just seemed brighter, like so much happier that she had her space. It's like she wanted to tell me all about it, all about the personal space that she had now. And so Chloe just grew up a lone pig, and that's what she wants. It really is. And so I feel better for her now. She's going to be alone all winter. Alone. She's like, there's goats all over the place, and we're right there too. All around her, there's goats. And she's fine with that, but she'll get friends next year. I think we're going to raise 2 small pigs like that every year. So she'll have friends in the spring and summer, and then she'll be alone. And she'll be fine, because that's what she likes. Yeah, if you guys know more about curing, let her rip, because I don't. I just know it's a preservation method. My piggy is alone. Should I get her a friend? If she seems fine, she might not need one. I have heard that they are social animals and really like to be in contact with other animals. That could be you, that could be goats, it could be other pigs, but I don't think that they necessarily need somebody in there with them, because Chloe hated that. She really she's super social. She loves us and stuff. But she does not seem sad with her friends gone, and she never seemed fully happy that they were there. She seems happier with them gone, as crazy as that sounds. Best goat breeds. That depends on so many things. I really like La Manchas. A lot of it's the look for me. But oftentimes when you look at shows and things, some of the La Manchas have some of the like bigger, higher udders, in my opinion, and I really like that. It's really nice to have a well-attached udder to deal with. I'm milking Margie now that she's kidded, and Margie's got a really low set udder, and after milking nice udders for so long, I'm like, ugh, she's nice to milk, but her udder's like in the pail, and that's really hard. So to me, it's whatever goat works well with you, and that just totally depends on the person, in my opinion. Oh yeah, if y'all aren't aware, Tater is the class clown. Tater, Chloe needs to come visit us for the holidays. He wants her to be bacon so bad. The Ashes. Hi! The Ashes is here. The Ashes has been defending me very nobly in the comments section on some of the videos where I get the most flack. I appreciate you so much. And curing is a rabbit hole, that's for sure. Chloe's a diva, you're right. Totally. Chloe's a diva. Chloe needs a diet. Because I was trying to grow shake and bake, and I was feeding them, it was called Power Porker by Combotch, before my neighbor gave me the extra feed that he had. Power Porker, and like it's made to put the weight on, which worked really well for shake and bake, but Chloe got fat. She's like a cube. And so I feel she needs a diet. So I gave her some alfalfa pellets today, which obviously that's high in protein as well. But I think the fiber and roughage is going to be really good for her. I may get her some Timothy pellets to put in with her feed, just to kind of like make her feel full. Like she'll have the fiber, but it won't be so much dense feed. So don't let Tater Pig sit. No problem. Brandon, I never thought to go to the comments. People do. They go, and I don't mind. I like to read comments. I am one that when I'm on a video, I'm looking. I'm just scrolling. But I like community engagement as well. And yeah, it can be fun to go to the comments. I don't delete comments unless they are like horrific. But sometimes even then, if YouTube will let me approve it, sometimes they don't. I try to approve stuff and they're like, no ma'am, and they don't. Because I want to reply. But sometimes I'll engage with it for a little bit and then I'll delete because they're just that bad. There's some people you cannot converse with on a sane level. Calm with Claire. I know you said before that you'll have only been doing this a few years. How did you manage things when your human kids were younger? So when we moved to this farm, my youngest was 18 months old. And this is not advised, but I did a lot of things with him on my lap. So I like mowed the lawn with him on my lap because I had to. My husband was deployed. There was nobody to help me manage the farm, and I needed to keep the grass away from the house or else the coyotes were going to come close to the house with my small children. And so I mowed with that little John Deere. I mowed like 3 acres, which is a lot for that small little lawnmower with him on my lap. I did a lot of stuff with them around. They really, really liked to like pull weeds out of the driveway. That was a really fun task for them when we first got here. They love chores. They love playing with the chickens. Just keeping them involved, I guess, is really the answer. But goodness, and doing things while they napped and slept and things is how I did it. And I did, when they were real young, like I said, Levi was deployed, I did it without him, by myself. And I think that's why you guys see me doing a ton by myself. I got really used to doing that when he was in the military. And it's not that he does help. Y'all see Levi, as soon as I can film him, I do. But I do a lot independently because that's just what I'm used to. It just is what it is. Schmertens asked if Nigerian dwarf were good first time milking goats. Yeah, that's what I had. They are, as long as you've got one with a little bit longer teeth. You know, you don't want the little tic-tac teeth because you'll get cramps. But a Nige with the longer teeth is great because it's also not so much milk that you have to like figure out what to do with. You can gradually like learn slowly when it's coming in a little bit less heavy. So I think a Nige is the perfect first goat. I was a single mom. You'd have to do your rock Heather. How often do you go live? I go live to the public here once every season. So spring, summer, fall, winter. And I will go live for our membership once a week. So it's really frequent. But sometimes I skip, but not very frequently. So I love that the kids have their own garden spaces and they want more. Like they're like, Mommy, my garden is not big enough. Because with their little trellis, I've told them you can really only grow like one thing up your, because they have the little 4x4 beds. And a big tomato, I mean, it's going to sprawl out. And they're like, this is not enough space. So we've got plans for Christmas to expand that. Yeah, Rosie, oof, those tic-tac teeth, yes. So Barely was a goat that I had, that I sold recently. She had little teeth. They were like this. No kidding. Less than an inch. And she is the mom to Stormy, Tempest, and Winnie. And all of them have longer teeth than she did because thankfully that's been an easy fix. So if you have a goat with tic-tac teeth, make sure your buck can fix that. And it could be fixed pretty quickly in one generation. Could be. Thank you. I have 3-year-old and one on the way. I have not been pregnant homesteading. But we are quickly growing. Oh shoot, it went away. Our animal family too. Most of the time it's just me and the kiddo, and he has allergies, so it feels like a lot of work. Yes, that is a lot of work, especially if being outside makes him sick. And being pregnant, dang, I can't imagine trying to do it while pregnant. So that's rough. That's something I don't have experience with. But I talked recently about, in one of my vlogs, like sickness, because I've been, not this year, but a couple years prior, I've been kind of on and off sick. And I talked about how to function on a homestead while just sick because things have to get done no matter what. So it's kind of like having small children where you're like encumbered in some way. And like having good systems that don't require you to be there like super on time all the time is really helpful. Like big water troughs that will take them through for a long time. Big hay feeders that just take them through. Having things like this camera, I keep looking up at it. Really nice. Because I don't have to like try to drag a baby outside to go see the goats kind of thing. So like systems really are a great way to get by. I love milking my new Nigerian dwarf, but I do have 2 blow-eye Nigerian dwarf that has small teeth, but I still milk them. You can get away with it too. I mean, some people can. Some people don't have any problems. You like squeeze it like this, but I would get hand cramps. But you can also, that little milker that I bought, the hand top milker, not half bad. Not half bad for the price. When I was shopping for milkers, that did not exist. And if it had, I would have gotten that, I'm sure. And I'm not sad about my big milker. I love it. But I would have had that first. Will you keep the new waters from freezing this year? How will you? I won't. So I have to put in a trough with the tank heater. I'm holding off as long as I can because the baby Nigerian dwarves, it scares the crap out of me. What I might do is they've got big heated buckets, but then like that's deep. However, it's less likely that they'll just bloop right in. And like not impossible. But I've been kind of trying to brain how that's going to work. As the baby goats get bigger, they'll be less likely to have a problem in the water. They'll be strong enough to get out. Like I had a cinder block in my water before, and as far as I knew, a baby goat never got in before the one did get in and died. He was a 2-day-old mini La Mancha, and he wasn't quite on his feet to begin with and didn't really know how to do life at all, and that was part of the problem. He was really, really young, and that was really sad. So I'm trying to avoid that again. Do I test for worms? Yeah, I do fecals. I do fecals. A lot of times, especially in spring, I will go by, I don't do fecals on every goat. Like every time I see like a soft stool, do I do a fecal? No. Sometimes I kind of can gauge what's going on based on like, has it been raining all week? Or do we have a lot of fresh green grass out there? A lot of times I can tell without having to run a fecal what's going on, just from experience. But I do run fecals when I need to, when I feel like I need to. I have the hand top, I cannot get it to work. I sent it to new motor pump and it still isn't working. What's it doing, Kathy? Is it not suctioning? It takes a second. Like you have to hold it on there before it really gets going. And it took probably a good 45 seconds to get suction. Put a piece of cattle panel over the water trough. That is a good suggestion. I was wondering if someone could get stuck. Like if that would make them get stuck. And then there's the sharp edges. I'm sure we could figure something like that out. And yeah, we'll brain it. That's not a bad idea. Someone had mentioned like having a platform with just a hole where they could put their head down in. But yeah, I've got to figure something out. That makes me nervous. Hi, Aunt Rowdy. President Snow and Kato are the babies' names. The kids named them. Yep. Yeah, I know. Goats are silly. They would figure out a way to get stuck. I don't want to try to overcomplicate it. The trough that the baby goat drowned in was buried anyway. It was pretty darn... he only had to go like this far to get in. He was a big goat, though. He was huge. It was Frenzy's brother. And in my opinion, there's no reason he should not have been able to get out, aside from the fact that he was so young. He didn't even know what his feet were, you know? So to realize that he was in a situation that he needed to get himself out of was probably not there. He just wasn't old enough. And so it was really unfortunate. Put a slightly smaller bowl upside down with holes in it. Oh, inside the... I see what you mean. I see what you mean. That is a good idea. Then I need to heat it. So if I get the heated bucket with something like that in it, that would be helpful. We'll brain it. And I will definitely show you what I come up with. Plastic trellis netting over the trough. Will they eat it? Yeah. They will. They'll chew it. Oh, goodness. Some of them are more apt to chew on stuff than others. Some of them. Over our small pond, we used a horse fence, and there's a concrete block in there they could get out with. Yeah, there was a concrete block in the trough. Now, here's the thing, too. When we emptied the trough and I had put at the end, after that, I put 3 extra concrete blocks in there, so there was 4. And when I took the trough out, is a metal trough, one of those, I guess is it zinc coated? Anyways, it rusted. That trough was all rusted on the inside, and I think it was you, Levi, right, that talked about the lime in the cinder blocks might have been corroding away at the... Yeah. So the water was probably not good for the goats with the cinder block in there with a metal trough. So I'm thinking about getting a plastic trough just because of that, so that I can easily put something in there and not really have to worry about, is this going to be leaching something bad for my goats? So that's another thing that I'm thinking about is, oof, that was probably gross. I see a lot of suggestions. We will figure something out. We won't, like right now, we should be freezing in like a week. There's no way. Let me look at it. We usually around the 19th of October is our estimated first frost. Let me see if they've even got anything close. Maybe Halloween. Now the 31st says the low of 33. So maybe Halloween. It'll frost, but we heat back up during the day. That I think everything will be fine. That the sun hits the freeze-free hydrant first thing in the morning, and it thaws out pretty quick. So I could probably leave those in there until around Thanksgiving before I really have to worry about it. We'll see though. We'll see what I do. When the freeze does come, it's gonna come out of nowhere, I know. But the greenhouse should be pretty good. Everything when I had sprayed the BT for the worms, for like the little army worms, my goodness, and everything came back so lush and lovely. It's like those tomatoes have a second wind. Y'all should see the trombonzino squash. It's like 3.5 feet tall. It's massive. It's like, whoa. I need to do a garden tour. I don't know if anybody's still interested in the garden with baby goats coming, but there's a lot happening in that greenhouse. It's beautiful in there. We should be really close to starting to see little baby broccolis. The plants are massive. Ours is supposed to be here on the 13th in Michigan. Oh, coming up. Get ready. I don't really want to be submerging wire in the water. Almost all wires will rust or corrode. Yeah, and I'm nervous about that. I didn't realize you could not see that it's like it didn't rust or it didn't show rust or corrosion until there wasn't water in it. It's like it oxidized and was like, here's the rust. The whole thing is like ruined. I don't even know if I can use it for a garden bed. I was trying to think about that. Like, what can I do with this rusted out trough that I'm not giving back to my goats? I don't even know if it's good to plant in. So we stuck it in the pig pen because we thought we could use that to prop up the trailer so it wouldn't tip. But the trough was too tall, so we used cinder blocks anyway. So it's just hanging out in Chloe's pen now. It's upside down. Misty says, we always want garden tours. I need to move the bags off of the lane into the greenhouse and plant my little starts in there. The starts are looking so good that we started. Oh, good night, Cassie. I gotta wake up at 4 a.m. Bless it. Where's Stormy at? She's good. Y'all, I don't know. Our Stormy girl. Cut out the bottom and make it a raised bed. It's like rusted up to the side. It's up to where basically the water level always was. It's like this high is rust and the bottom. I think Levi had talked about, I don't know if this is plant safe. It was either Levi or one of the members talking about putting like Rust-Oleum or something over it, but I don't know if that's food safe, you know. Jay Strobel, I just love this chat. It feels like a family. That's how it goes here. Isn't that great? I love it too. And that's why I can sit here and chat for a billion hours. I've been going for 1 hour and 12. I did not intend for that, but that's how it always works out for me. Maybe you could use it upside down and then put bees on top of it. I'm also worried that over time it will like rust. And if you do not want a colony of bees falling through it. One deep hive full of honey is 100 pounds. And so if you've got a double deep, it's 200 pounds. I'm nervous enough about the setup that I have out there. The boards with the cinder blocks, I look at it and I'm like, dang, all it takes is one cinder block to get a crack in it. It's gone. And that's scary. It could be a good buster bed if he would lay in it. He probably wouldn't. He's such a turd. I bought him a like hammock bed. He didn't care about it. He'd rather sleep on the porch. Rachel's interested in the garden. I've planted in several rusted tubs. I just put a piece of metal inside like a patch. That's a good idea. Hi, Christine's Routines. Tammy just got here. It's okay. I do have to go at some point, but chatting is really fun. Chatting is really fun. And I'm excited that goat breeding season is over. And I'm excited for bunny breeding season. I had tried to breed. I have 6 Californian does. And I have my 2 pretty bunnies. My 2 pretty bunnies did breed. We're good. None of my Californians bred. They would not lift. None of them. And usually with my Callies, the problem is lighting. So a lot like chickens that, you know, they don't lay when there's not enough day length. Sometimes rabbits are day length sensitive as well. And so I've turned on the artificial light in the rabbitry. And so hopefully we can get some rabbits breeding soon. I had a hard time breeding them last year. I'm hoping this year is better. 3 of them are a little bit older, 3 of them are younger, and so it should work. But not gonna lie, it's making me want to keep some babies out of Sausage, who's nothing special rabbit. But I'd rather have some rabbit meat that takes a little bit longer to grow out and costs a little bit more than no rabbit meat. So, we'll see. Sarah just found hornworm on your tomatoes. Yeah, but your frost is coming, right? The frost will take care of it. I don't know if my message went through. Oops. But it looks like Amazon sells heaters for similar waters. Really? Now, my problem is the hose and the hydrant. So the hydrant that's outside the barn, that whole thing is metal and it will fill with water. And so I'd have to keep the hydrant itself from freezing. It's a freeze-free hydrant, but only when it's off. The water goes, it leaves the pipe and goes and stays deep underground where it's warm. But if you have it turned on like I do, where it's just sort of waiting, it's like pending for the float valve to kick it on, that's when it can freeze for sure. And that's the problem. Like, I could keep the bowl warm, but the hose and the hydrant I can't, I don't think. Not easily in a goat-proof way, because I know they sell like heat tape and stuff. I don't know how well it would work in a super deep freeze, which we do get every year. It'll be like -20 wind chill. So, night, Brenda. Just had to replace 2 of my stock tank container gardens due to bottom rusted out. Bummer. Bummer, bummer. I love grow tents and grow lights. I have 2 in my back bedroom. They work great. I have really liked, what I'm gonna do with those grow lights that I got from Epic, I don't know if you've seen them, but they're like telescopic and they get really tall. It's like this. It's a nice panel. I want to use some of my bigger pots that I have. They're like 5-inch pots and grow like almost full-size lettuce. And I realized that because I have a timer on those, a lot of times in winter stuff just grows slower. Just because, number one, it's colder, but there's also a lot less day length. Like there's not a lot of light. And if I have, number one, it's warm in my shed and I have the artificial light, I could grow lettuce greens and things a lot faster than in the greenhouse. Like, even though the greenhouse is warm-ish a lot of the time, we still don't have the benefit of the sunlight in there. And we can use the grow lights to grow lettuce greens just like it's springtime. And so I'm thinking about that. Funny thing, I tried to do the baking soda tenderizing hack on my rabbit meat and it came out looking and tasting, smelling like shrimp. What did I do wrong? I have no idea. I've never heard of that. Baking soda tenderizer. Rabbit meat is super tender. I don't feel like it needs a tenderizer. Now, if it's cooked wrong, it's going to be chewy and tough. And so with rabbits, you really want to go low and slow. Now, I have cooked it like chicken before, but it still takes you leaving it for a little bit longer. I usually will sear the rabbit on both sides in a nice fat. Stick it in a pan with a little bit of liquid and put the cover on and cook it in the oven at 325 for an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. And that is how I cook my rabbit, and it's delicious. It's so, so good. It's a really simple way to do it, but it takes a while to get the, I don't know if it's collagen, but rabbits are very springy, and so their tendons are quite chewy. And they can be quite chewy and hard to eat if they're cooked exactly like chicken. They need that time to really melt a lot of those connections down so they can be palatable. What did you decide to do with your mushrooms? So I made a risotto with half of it, and then Levi used half in a recipe the next night. What did you make again with mushrooms? I forget too. We do like Homestead conglomerates like crazy. We just throw them in stuff. But I intentionally made a risotto with the first batch. And it was rice. The risotto I did it wasn't actually risotto. I did a risotto recipe, but with pasta. I have another, it's looking like in 2 days I'll get to harvest those again. Those yellow mushrooms. Do you use anything as a coyote repellent? Because keeping up the yard so they don't get close. We're up against a dense tree line and often have deer, but also the occasional coyote. We are not up against a dense tree line literally anywhere. Wait till you guys see the video where we took Shake and Bake to the butcher. I hooked my camera. This is her. This is where the magic happens, okay? I clipped this to the trailer and I said, see ya, and it followed Shake and Bake the whole way to the butcher, and it is nothing but open fields. So they don't tend to cross, at least in my experience, they don't tend to really cross open fields. Where we can get a problem is when the grass is high. Then they feel confident to come up close. But when we manage the fields, we don't tend to see them. Sometimes my neighbor has said that they've seen them in their yard. We haven't seen them in our yard, and we have Buster. And they also have a dog running around too. So I think that really helps. Oh, Rosie's saying fast twitch muscle. The rabbit muscle's fast twitch muscle. I feel like I've heard that before. That's ringing a bell for me. But yeah, the livestock guardian, Buster, he does a great job. He cannot get back super far in with the goats and where the goats are. But knock on wood, so far it has not been a problem. Janice, it always helps to mark your territory. I've heard of people doing that. Oh, goodness. Yeah, they don't like getting shot at. Tater. We have coyotes that come onto our yard sometimes, and the 30-06 is the only thing that keeps them at bay. What do you guys know? I've heard that if you actually get one, they'll, like, come back as, like, revenge. That's what I've heard, and I don't know if it's true or if it really actually scares them. Do you guys know anything about that? Because we've shot at them, but we've never gotten them before. Wasn't there a recipe for coyote in the Meat Eater cookbook?
Yeah, kind of wouldn't surprise me.
I would try it. I would try it. Oh, thanks everyone. Unfortunately, my son is allergic to dogs, and our neighbor has an aggressive dog that is problematic, so trying to find other options. There is a channel, Galloping Goat Ranch. He had coyote problems. It was horrific what happened to one of his goats. And they got some of those little lights that have, like, it looks like glowing eyes with, I think, an audio alarm. And he probably will be attentive to his comments. He'll probably be able to tell you how well that's worked for him. It's been like 2 years since he's had that. Galloping Goat Ranch is what it is. I'll link him. He's on Instagram too. He's like a teenager. Okay. Galloping Goat Ranch. Come on, click it. Okay. This is Galloping Goat Ranch. Go over there. Make a comment somewhere. I'm sure he'll see you and answer. Donkeys make good livestock guardians for coyotes. We have a livestock guardian dog with our does and a donkey with our boys. I have thought about that. And that is something where if we feel like the coyotes are they're scaring us a little bit more than we like, that's something I would do, is get a donkey. Even if it's just a mini, I assume it would help, a mini donkey. Back in the day, farmers would kill coyotes and put the dead ones on the fence. It was supposed to keep the rest away. Okay, that's logical. When I had heard that shooting them would make more come, I was like, why? That doesn't seem like it's a very great, like, survival instinct. Donkeys are a lot of maintenance. I know I saw Annabelle Trades had a whole video on donkeys and how they're basically like a dog. And so, I don't know. We had some neighbors in the back of us that had donkeys. They had like 3 of them, but we never like really spoke to them much, so I don't know how difficult their donkeys were for them. Casa Vitae, our donkey is a mini. Something that if we had coyote problems, I'd figure out how to maintain donkeys. That's for sure. I know it's kind of one of those things where I gotta sort of expect it. Sorry, my phone had something on it. I gotta sort of expect it in the future so that I'm not surprised, but not like stress so much, because we've talked about we could run a hot wire on the top and the bottom of our fence, But we would also have to maintain the hot wire, and at this point we don't feel like it's really necessary right now, but it's something we would do if we needed to. Janice, I had a donkey once. Oh man, they do live a long time. Some donkeys can be more troublesome than coyotes, and that's the thing. Like if you were to buy a donkey or something off of like Craigslist, you might be getting a problem animal. So you're getting someone's cull animal for a reason. I have seen that. They can decide to kill your goats. Who was that? Arms Family Homestead, right? Or was it a llama? The donkey killed a llama? I can't remember. It like grabbed it by the neck. I think it was one of the llamas or the alpacas. Do your neighbors have animals or just growing crops? Our neighbors right next to us have Black Angus cattle, and they have a big hayfield in the back. Right behind us is their hayfield, and he takes very good care of his hayfield. And so that's usually managed well. It does grow up, you know, as high as hayfields need to in the springtime, and that's the only time that we have seen them get somewhat close. But Buster will keep them away just with his barking, and the way that he barks when he sees something not good is very different from his normal bark. So when we hear that, Levi is outside with the rifle in like no time. And so even just him alerting us is super helpful, even if he can't get back there. There was, you know how sometimes rabbits, especially meat rabbits, when you handle them, they don't like it and they can scream. Well, I picked up a meat rabbit to try to bring it to the buck to breed, and it's not used to being handled, and it screamed. Buster came running like a good boy. I was like, good boy, Buster, it's just me. I like Arms Family Homestead. They're down the road just a ways. It was the young alpaca. That's what I thought I remembered. Oh. Yeah, it was like last year. The donkey killed the alpaca on Arms Family Homestead. Sad. But it wasn't instant as far as I can remember. He was like injured and then passed. It was not a fun time. Not a fun time. It wasn't Reba, I can't remember. It was a boy alpaca. Arms Family Homestead donkey kills alpaca. Let's see if it comes up. No, I can't. That didn't bring it up immediately. But it was about a year ago. RJ. Yeah, RJ was its name. Let me see if I can find it for you, Tater. Real fast. I won't spend ages on it, but... He wasn't sick, he was murdered. Here's the video. Copy link. He thought RJ was sick because he wasn't acting right, but he had a broken vertebra. There we go. This was a year ago, yep. One of my bunnies got out the other night, and Asha chased it, but once it stopped running, her kill mode shut off, and she was like, wait, that one is Mom's. Aw, what a good baby. Someone shot a different one. I did see that when I was searching. We have Anatolian Shepherds, and you can tell when the bark is rifle-worthy. Absolutely. You really can. Do you swap meats or vegetables with your neighbors? So when I first moved here, my neighbor had a small garden, and it was like the next year she had another garden, but it's even smaller, and she has stopped growing a garden. She hasn't grown a garden in a few years, but I do give her goodie baskets. I have not given her a goodie basket this year. This is like the first year that I haven't given her a goodie basket. But they also don't eat their own cattle. They say that it's cheaper to buy it at Walmart. And I think that's interesting. So they raise the Black Angus and sell them to a feedlot when they're like 6 months old. And they like cows are going for really high prices right now. and so they get paid a lot for it. And then I don't know where the subsidies come in. I don't know if they're subsidized or if like the feedlot is subsidized, but it ends up being cheaper at the grocery store. So they buy it. And they probably are not interested. I have given him rabbits before and quail, right, Levi, Miss
Yes.
Jimmy? But they don't have their own beef. I would like some beef, but they don't do that. I don't want like a whole cow or anything. RJ's dad, Rufus, was the one that was shot. Okay. The alpacas we're talking about. Our Anatolian Akbash. I've never heard of that one. Mix. Barks at everything, but there's a definite difference when something is really wrong. Same, Buster barks all the time. He barks night and day. I can sleep through it. Until it's not. Until it's that bark. One time he did that though, and it was possums or something in the woods, right, honey?
I think he's done that to armadillos.
Armadillos. The armadillos really like to go under the rabbit tractors because there's those black soldier fly larvae, I feel like is what they're going after. Those like grubby things. Because we'll see armadillo holes underneath the rabbit tractors a lot. Oh, no, yeah, I'm sure it doesn't taste as good, Tammy. But they used to raise pigs, and I think they have raised their own beef before, but they said it wasn't worth it. You know, I thought that was really interesting. Another livestock breed, they also mostly white but shorter hair. Your Buster's got the long hair. He needs a haircut before his winter coat grows in. Buster does know his job. He's 8 years old. And he's not slowing down. But still, I'd like to kind of get him a buddy that he can help guide and train before he does slow down. It was raining cats and dogs today at one point, and I held the door open. I was like, come on, buddy. He did not want to come inside. He wanted to be out there. My ex used to make a rabbit jerky that has grape jelly in the recipe. Does anyone have a recipe like this? Interesting. Is that a common jerky ingredient? I feel like it could work. You know, like a sweet savory. Huh. We want to get it. We get a beef from our neighbor in exchange for leasing some of our pasture, so it works out cheaper. That's awesome. That's a really great arrangement. I love that. I love that a lot. Now, we kind of just, if the neighbors need something, they know we're here. If they need something, they know we're here. It was from their creep feeder that all that pig food came from. And because they've raised hogs before, they were like, we know that this is good hog food. And so they're like, hey, we've got this pile of food that we don't want to waste. Come get it. And so Levi and Bentley shoveled it into my little dump trailer, and it's been great. Now that it's just Chloe, it's going to take forever to work that down because I've still got half of it left. But, oh, dang. Maybe a deer jerky with persimmon jelly. Okay. The members know. The persimmons are persimmoning, and there are tons of them this year. And after the rain today, I picked a whole bucket. This bucket was like this big, and I pulled out the food mill and made a whole bunch of persimmon, jam. It was the puree that you get out of the, what's it called, the food mill. And it's yummy. I'm so excited about persimmon season. So excited. Do you get hay from your neighbor for the goats, or are those specific hays that you feed the goats? The neighbor has told us we could have his hay. Problem being, he sprays his field, and I use my goat's manure on my garden. So he can spray whatever he wants. He knows how his field grows best, but I need spray-free hay because it goes on my garden. So we go to the Amish farms, and they also use their manure on their garden. And so we buy their hay, and it works well. So there's a Amish farm close to us. Can't remember the name of it. But they have a huge, like, that's their business, is they buy the hay at auction from other Amish people and they sell it in a big, big barn, and it's orchard. I like to buy orchard grass for my goats. Orchard and alfalfa is nice. Sometimes they will pick through the orchard grass just to eat the alfalfa, and they will waste the orchard grass, and that makes me mad. But we'll see what's there. Levi's gonna go on Friday to get me some more hay. I need some good quality hay this time of year. I can't believe Tater's hungry again. We ate like 3 hours ago. Aw, that's okay. Oops, this video is playing. The Arms Family Homestead video started playing. Whoopsies. Y'all, I think I'm gonna leave Stormy out with the herd tonight. It's not cold. It's literally 71 right now. How stupid is that? It's 9:30 at night in October. It's 71. Can you believe that, Levi?
That's not ridiculous.
So it's not cold. She's not a first-time mom. There is a light on down there because Margie's light is on so her babies can figure out how to nurse. And I don't have a water trough. I think she'll be all right if she happens to go. I did check the ligaments right before the live, so she's good. She had a liggy there. One. She had one liggy hanging out, and her udder's soft. It's big, but it's soft. So we'll see. Hi. America. Okay. Just stopping by to say good night. Good night. Good seeing you. Reese, thankfully 3 miles down the road from us is a certified organic farm, and I buy organic hay and straw from them when they have extra. That is awesome. What a blessing. What a blessing. We feel lucky and blessed that we have that Amish farm up close to us, because it's like anywhere between $8 and $11 for the alfalfa orchard grass hay per bale. And it's the small square bales, and they're usually pretty nicely packed, and they look really good. Yeah, Valerie, we've got some members that live in Texas, and they've been sharing screenshots of their weather app, and that is atrociously hot still. Hopefully it cools down for y'all very soon. It's been raining here some. It was something we needed. Like my winter grasses really needed that, so I'm happy that we got some rain. But hopefully you get some too. $30 square barrel in Louisiana. I would have to have far less goats. If things were the way that they are in some places, I would have to have a lot less goats. Because we'll go through, sometimes, I have fewer large goats this year, but we could go through 400 to 450 bales a winter. And so when you start adding that up, that's a lot. If it was $30 a bale, I couldn't do that. That's too much. I'm already looking at my herd like this herd is too big. And I've made my list. I was writing down today. Here are my goats. These are like the non-meat ones. There's 23. And I might have missed one. And that's not including the meat goats that are out there right now. And so I'm like, ugh. In order to retain, I have to sell. Because I can't just keep. And that's when it was easier to sell as I was breeding up the herd and making them nicer. And now we're getting to like where I have to sell nice goats to keep nice goats. And that's really hard. We're supposed to get rain soon in a few hours, Maine here. I saw that you guys were getting kind of a nor'easter thing going on. What do you do with retired does? So there's only going to be so many that get to retire out on pasture. As far as that goes, the ones that I have in my head that are going to stay here and retire on pasture are Christine, who's already retired. I need to stop milking her, and I need to get Frenzy to stop nursing off of her so that she can gain some weight. She needs that. She needs to be done milking. And then Margie will retire on pasture, and Elpis will retire on pasture. Christine is 10. Margie is 8. Elpis is 3. So it's going to be a long time before Elpis is retired. Nobody else really has that fondness. Like, I love them all, but I don't really have a lot of, like, I need to keep you on pasture forever for, like, anyone else. And so, ideally, I would kind of sell everybody in their prime before they got super old. But that may or may not happen. The number one cause of death for a dairy doe is kidding related. Just so everyone knows. That's the number one cause of death for a dairy doe, is dying because of a kidding complication. And so that's really hard to think about. But that's the plan, is to just sell them when they're kind of in their peak, and just try to keep a younger herd for myself. But I would put a doe in the freezer. An older animal would probably have to be ground, but that's fine, and that's viable. Because you have to think about it too. I do have an older video talking about this. I don't necessarily want to sell an older doe just so the end of her life can be someone else's problem. I should be responsible for that as well. And so thinking about that, if I can't keep them all out on pasture, it is a worthy end to be in the freezer. It is. Look at all these hoof prints, you guys. That makes me so happy. Hi, Ellen. And Terry. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a lot of people's first live, because I don't go live super often to the public, but this is what it's like on the evening live. So for the memberships, I'll go live in the evening one week, and then the next week it'll be a morning live, and we alternate, so that it's, you know, not hard for someone who lives, you know, across the world or in a way different time zone to tune in to one live, you know, every so often. So 6 sheep, 12 goats, Reese has. I need to par down my herd in order to keep in spring, because I've marked down who do I want to keep animals out of. I really want to keep a red and ruckus doe, really bad. Now, obviously, I can place orders for what I want, and they might not fulfill it, right? I want a frenzy doe. She's bred to Nefarious. That particular line, my Elpis line, is those are my babies. I love them. If I was to get rid of every other goat, I would keep my Elpis line. At least some of them. For sure. I would like to keep a doe out of Flip. So the buck that we bred to Melee and Elpis, ideally I'd keep the Elpis doe. Because there is somebody who is waitlisted for a Melee doe. But if only Melee has a doe, she'll stay here. Just for fun. Just for funsies. And Tizzy, I don't have a doe out of Tizzy yet. So that would be fun. She's bred to Feral. And then Tori and Bear may have a doe that I would want to keep, but that's kind of last on my list. So that's my, and see, if I want to keep, I have to sell. And I won't go over my potential sell list right now. Because it's not set in stone. How many baby goats are we expecting? This fall, it's 13. And 2 of them are on the ground. As far as the ultrasound showed. And 3 of them will be going with their mom when she kids. So Tempest is going to my friend's farm. My friend has a busy October, and she's going to go to a women's retreat this month. And so she was going to take Tempest with her after our disease test day. And then she's like, can you come in October and basically babysit Tempest in case she goes into labor? And I was like, well, why don't I just hold her and have her kid at my farm, and then I'll just, when you're done with your retreat, you can have Tempest with her babies. And she's like, cool. So that's what's gonna happen. Winnie's here. Winnie's good. I like Winnie. I love Winnie. I'm not at the point where I would be like, yes, let's retire Winnie. Winnie is a sale option in the future, because Winnie is a stepping stone to something better. So I mentioned how her mom was our goat Barely that had the tic tac teeth, like this big. Winnie's teeth are bigger. as far as I can tell, they're not much bigger. And I bred her to Mooch, who I bought Mooch because his dam has really long teeth. It's not out of the realm of possibility that if Winnie had a doe, that I would keep the doe and sell Winnie. I love Winnie. I love all the goats, and that's the thing. But I don't feel like she's not like necessarily a forever goat in my heart. I love her though. Oh, Tater's trying to get all the guys in Discord. Guys, come over to Discord. My viewership is mostly female. Yep. Coccidiosis is a common cause of spots on a rabbit's liver. There's that, or did y'all say tularemia? That's a bad one. That's one where if you see spots on a liver on a rabbit, don't touch it with your bare hands. Tularemia, we've not seen that. But that's a reason people say, why do you raise your rabbits up in cages? Things like that. Stormy's a keep because of Tempest. Tempest and Stormy have the same dam and sire. They're just of different years. And I've decided I like Stormy better. Is Stormy a forever and retire out on pasture? Honestly, probably no Nigerian is, to be very honest. The Nigis, I like them. They're not my heart. My minis are. My mini La Manchas really are. I could see Frenzy staying forever. I love her, like, to bits and pieces. And I like my Nigis. The biggest reason I have them is because they cycle year round. However, my mentor, she'll do the, goodness, what's it called? You could do cedars, but you also need to do, it's like a progesterone injection in order to get the does to cycle out of season. She does that. So far, that's not something I really want to do. I don't really want to mess with their hormones or anything like that. So I'm content having 2 herds with 2 separate kidding seasons. If I really needed to pare down my herd for numbers, I would consider doing that with some of my mini La Manchas so I could still have year-round milk, and I would sell the Nigis. Yeah, I don't think any Nigis really have that spot for me. Like even Nefarious. Nefarious I would sell. Once I'm done with him and he's too saturated, I would sell him. Oh, it's not Ludolize, it's something else. PMSG, I think it is. I would use Ludolize if I had to. Ludolize it'll make them go into labor if they need to, or it'll, like, let's say feral hops a fence and breeds a very small animal, I would use Ludolize to end that pregnancy. I would. But it's called PMSG, so the cedar will make them ovulate at a certain time, but then the PMSG actually creates the hormones at the time of year where it's not natural for them to come into season. And that's something like humans have to be very careful handling PMSG because it will affect you too if you get it on you. And we're done having babies. If I have anything to say about it. And so it's just not something I don't think I want to do, but if I had to, I would, to get winter milk. Yeah. If you have any goats that will milk for a year or more, Margie will. Christine does. She's still milking. She's lost some weight, and I've been treating her. I treated her for parasites, and I've been giving her some rice bran pellet, and I've only been giving the rice bran pellet for about 2 weeks. And so if I'm not seeing some weight coming on her soon, she will need weight for winter. I'm getting better hay on Friday, so I think that's going to help her out a lot. But I may have to dry her off. Yep. I think her Frenzy stopped nursing on her mom and she's nursing on Christine. And Christine has less body condition, so I need to get Frenzy to stop nursing, so I'll probably have to tape her. Pager's still trying to eat my pig. Poor Chloe. She's all lard anyway. That's all. You don't have to use PG 600 with the cedar, but you can use just the lute to bring heat on. Really? Interesting. See, I don't know much about it, but I think PG is what she uses, plus the cedar. She does whatever Sandy Brock does. And that brings them in, and she'll have them kidding at a season. And it's intriguing to me, in the very least. I just don't think I want to mess with it right now, but I would. Sorry, you guys are chatting with each other, and I'm trying to find it. Sandy uses cedars on PG 600. Okay. Tater, my poor pig. Oh, Chloe. She's such an angel. She'll get her heated bucket in winter, too. She gets a little heated dog bowl, and she'll be good. She may need a bigger one, because she's grown a lot. Poor Chloe. Y'all, we've chatted for ages. It's been good. Hasn't it? Stormy's doing good, y'all. We'll look at her again. She's got her hackles up for some reason. What you doing, Stormy? Then there's Winnie. And Mrs. Tempe. There's Molly. She is bred, but she's not due now. Where the heck is Foxy? Uh-oh. Let's find Foxy. Let's see if I can turn it. Foxy went outside, I think. Unless she's down here. Nope. Is that making you guys sick? Oh, too high. Oh, goodness. Foxy's right there. Did y'all see her? You guys probably saw her. She's in plain sight right here. I also lost my food mill in plain sight today. I was getting ticked off. I'm like, why is nothing where I was last had it? It was because I put it away, you guys. If I put it away, I will lose it. And that's what happened. Levi found it. He searched for like 15 minutes and he found it. So that's why we have persimmon jam in the freezer now. Because Levi did it. You did that to your pickaxe. It was right where it was supposed to be. Isn't that silly? I looked everywhere that I thought it should be, and I thought I had it in its box still, which was part of my problem. I was looking for the box. And it was hanging up on, I've got like a pegboard in the shed that has like, it's got like freeze-dried things hanging on it, and there's a couple different things hanging. It was hanging up above the door, above my milker. I'm glad. I'm like, I don't really love the thing, but I know I didn't get rid of it. Like, it's not my favorite tool, but it is like the persimmon tool. I don't really like it for sauce or anything else, like tomato sauce, but it works well enough for persimmons, for sure. Anyways, so I did set up ads on this. Has anybody been getting them? Because I asked them to be super conservative with them. And I was curious what they did. Because I have heard that sometimes creators can set it to be conservative and it's like too many. And so I'm curious. I pay for no ads too. What cuts did I ask for? Oh, for the pigs. What we got for the pigs was, I got the ribs. I asked them to get me as much lard as they could. I got pork chops, bacon for sure, and I got ground pork and 25 pounds of breakfast sausage, and that was it. So last year when I got, or 2 years ago when I got my coonies butchered, I got I got the hams too, but not cured. I got the hams in like just raw hams. They're gonna give me the ham leg. Also, I'll have all 4 hams, and I'm going to cut those up and put them in cans. I'm going to can that meat. It's very good canned that way. But when we had our coonies done, a couple of years ago, I got all the roasts and things, and those are what I reached for the least in the freezer. I still have like 3 roasts in the freezer. I don't tend to cook the pork like that. So I just had them put it in the ground. So no ads so far. Good. I guess that's pretty conservative, isn't it? You had a few ads, not too many. Okay, good. I'm glad it wasn't too many because we've been yakking for like 2 hours. 114 minutes, it said. 2 ads when I first got on. Okay. No ads. Okay. They do tend to understand, like they say that it's, their ads are presented per the tolerance level of the viewer. So it's like catered. It's very interesting how it works. I just don't want it to be a lot. How long do I ferment my peppers for hot sauce? I got some going. I like to ferment them long enough to where the acid is high enough where I can can it. It's usually around 3 weeks, but if I forget about it, that's fine. When I forget about it, that's fine. I actually have to look at my last, whichever video it was last, to figure out when I set up these peppers that I have they're in my bedroom, my fermenting peppers, and to figure out how long they've been there, because I didn't mark it. Do goats water break? Yeah, it can. Margie, in the video from today, it broke when she leaned up against the wall. She like put her butt right on the wall and it broke there. Oh, is Shaggy okay? Do you have the arnica? Okay. It might be in there. It could be in our room. Fermented salsa. I feel like I haven't done a fermented salsa yet, but that sounds so good. Yeah, one of our babies, he's got growing pains frequently, like off and on. We were at the chiropractor today. Usually that helps, but the arnica cream helps so much. That's what we use for him. He also said, do you have the magnesium roller in there?
That's in our room, I'm pretty sure.
You might do that too. Poor darling. Epsom salt soaks help with growing pains too. And mag, yeah. Yep. The moon tonight is gorgeous. It's the harvest moon. Was that last night or tonight? It's actually full. There goes Levi. That's what you get. That was it. The drive-by Levi.
That times 2.
Times 2. Woo! There he goes again. It was last night, okay. I wasn't sure which one it was. Stormy's up. Girlfriend. Go to bed. She's just sniffing the ground. She's gonna keep me up, isn't she? It was full last night, but it's still lovely. It's our first super moon of the year. Really? Levi in his natural habitat. Zooming by. He's ready to go to bed, guaranteed. He's got to get up and work tomorrow. So are y'all ready to go to bed? Because it's been 2 hours. This is literally an hour longer than I intended. But it was fun. We had a good time. Just chit-chatting. It's fun. Lots of new members. I have to nail that down and figure that out. Levi in the wild, but not for our bingo card. He's not really in the wild. This is in the house. And I don't know when anyone is due. Learning every day because I never saw anyone breed. But we know, according to ultrasound, they should all be due in October. Tempest is going to be last. Her babies were smaller on ultrasound. I would guess Stormy is next. So we'll see. Becoming a green stalker. Hi and good night. The Discord is for the members. We've got a members only Discord. It's members and prior members Discord server. So I will put that on the membership tab for sure when we're done, which is basically right now. You're cooking last year's banana peppers and onions, making fajitas for dinner. Y'all, before I go, we cooked. I told y'all that we like to watch Emmy Made. And she did, it was like a Louisiana chicken something. I'm going to find it. Oh, we did it with rabbit. It was phenomenal. It was so heckin' good. I'm going to make it again soon. That's not what I meant to pull up. I had some pickled peppers from 2022 when I grew like a ton of them in the greenhouse, and these were great for that. Emmy made. It wasn't that long ago. I'm going to link it. Then y'all go watch Emmy, okay? And get some inspiration. Videos. Stick of butter, Mississippi chicken spaghetti. Okay, but I did it with rabbit. It was yummy. It's only 8 minutes and 44 seconds, okay? So this is your video to watch next. Emmy. Love her. If you've never seen her, she's a hoot. So, I've got 4 kidding stalls. Only 3 of them are clean. The middle one, I didn't feel like cleaning it out. I'm like, we don't need it. It's okay. There will be a testator. I'll test you later. Yeah, go watch Emmy. That is yummy dinner. Whether you have rabbits or chickens or whatever. It was really, really good. And it came out excellent. So, y'all have a good night. And I need to contact our winner. I will do that in the morning. Congratulations to you. And everybody have a good one. I will be on Discord for all of our members, and I will post the Discord link on the membership tab for all of our new members. So there's going to be a tidal wave on Discord, okay? Bye, guys. Sleep tight. Bye.